Hello, Professor. How are you today?
Doing very well. How are you guys?
Good, good. So we're going to ask you a series of questions so
Right.
the students can get to know you a little better,
Sounds
alrighty?
good.
So where are you from?
I am originally from Greece. I was born and raised in Athens, Greece. That's all the way to Europe. But I came here in 2006, and after that I consider myself Floridian. Since 2012, I went from Florida, North Carolina for 2 years. I was there between 2012 and 2014, but now I'm back, and it feels like home.
Alrighty. So what courses do you teach?
I teach mostly mathematics, Calc 1, 2, and 3. I will be teaching other classes like differential equations and discrete mathematics, but for now, Calc 1 and Calc 2.
Okay, so how long have you been teaching?
Oh, good question. As a professor or in general?
In general.
In general. I've been teaching since 2001. 2002, I started doing some TAing in the University of Athens. And then when I came here in 2006, I was TAing at University of Florida. 2011, I had my first lecturing position. And then 2013, I did my first teaching position, and then here I am.
Alrighty. So what is the best way to study for your class?
All right, so that is a tough one. What I like in my classes is people to put a little bit of effort every day. So you have to be there practically every day, do a couple of homework problems right afterwards, make sure that you get the quizzes, ask a lot of questions while you're in class. I don't really like the cramming. I know that people do it, and sometimes it works, but I actually promote the students that work a little bit over the course of the semester and don't have to force everything in the last 10 minutes right before the exam. Let me check this one. I also give a lot of points to people that do that, meaning a lot of my quizzes have a high percentage of the final grade. A lot of my in-class assignments, they can give you up to, I don't know, maybe like 15% of your total grade. So just by showing up and doing a little bit and learning as you're doing it, you're getting a good score.
Okay, very cool. So whenever a student comes to you, because calculus is a really tough course.
It is.
So whenever somebody fails a test score or something, they feel discouraged. What do you recommend that the student does?
Well, the first thing is they should come and talk to me or seek help. You know that we have the Success Center and we have a lot of help for these guys. We have private tutors for them. They can even find them online nowadays. In the way that I have structured the class, failing one exam, it's okay. You can still make it up as long as you start working. Now, there are some things that you need to do. You need to back up and start, covering the stuff that you didn't do. So you'll have to put in a little bit more effort. But trust me, if you come in and talk to me, and this is more general, if you go to your professors and you talk to them while you're in the course, not right before the drop ad, let's say, but while you're in the course, say, I'm not doing that great, what can I do? There are so many things that you can do. Extra homework. You can figure out why you did wrong, like are you missing something, pre-calculus, or maybe my accent is a little bit weird. I could just write it up for you and you should be okay. Or I could point to the book. Maybe you haven't used the book right. I don't know. There are so many things that the students can do as long as they come in and take charge of their problems as soon as possible.
Okay, well, that's some really good advice. So from your experience teaching, what qualities do successful students have to pass the course?
Right, they will have to be persistent. So as you said, math is a little bit hard. Doesn't come as easy as other classes. It has a lot of places where you feel like, oh, I'm getting this, and then this big bad problem comes up. It's like, I have no idea how to do this. And people get discouraged, and there's this whole vicious cycle of, I'm not good at math, therefore I don't study and I don't care about it, and that makes you bad at math again, and so you have to break that cycle, and the only way that you can break that cycle is being persistent. You can't do this problem, okay, try a similar one, try 2, try 3, try 4 until you get it. Persistence is key in mathematics. Other stuff is you have to be able to communicate your ideas clearly, all right? And time management. Mathematics, once again, is not it doesn't, some people have made it into this cramming art. Don't be like that. Try to use maybe 30 minutes every day to learn something instead of spending 3 hours the night before the exam. So manage your time that you spend on a class. You will ideally spend, 1 hour, maybe 2 hours for every hour in class. You should know that in calc. So if you condense all of them over the weekend, it's not going to go that well. If you do a little bit every day, you should be fine.
Alrighty. So what is the most important thing that students can take away from your class?
Well, I can tell you this. They will be prepared to face any sort of math problem which is related to that. But beyond that part, I think mathematics is the exercising for your brain. Okay, so you just become better at logical statement and logical thinking. If you strip away the actual jargon, if you strip away, we're solving a second degree equation here or whatever, it all comes down to now you're facing a problem and you have some tools. How do you take these tools and solve the problem? So I believe by, participating in classes like Calc 1, Calc 2, and so on, you just become better at that abstract idea. How to take a problem and your knowledge and solve it.
Alrighty. And what other jobs have you had before coming to Poly?
I haven't done much except teaching. I took a job in Greece. I did some sort of statistical analysis for an advertising company, and that was just for like a year. And I realized that's not what I wanted to do. And then when I was in North Carolina, I was doing some sort of research assistantship, which is partnered with the Lab of Analytical Sciences. That is a collaboration between NSA and NC State. And over there, we're doing a bunch of analytics and a lot of research, which I actually can't really talk about. But it was not so much related to teaching, rather than again back into try to figure out solutions using mathematics, analytics tools, computers, and all that stuff.
Oh, well, very cool. So how did you hear about Florida Poly?
Well, I happen to know the president, so I think that's it, right? I don't know if you know that Dr. Avent was actually in North Carolina, and he was heading that Lab of Analytical Sciences. So, we were chatting about things, and he said, this is a beautiful university, and I'm going to be leading. And I said, okay, tell me more about it. And that's how it started. But I came here actually earlier this past summer because my wife is also teaching at the University of Florida. And I was looking for opportunities around here, and people were telling me Florida Polytechnic, really cool. It's got STEM-oriented stuff, so I gave it a try. Independent of Dr. Avent. But when he came over, I thought, yeah, that would be a good fit now.
Alrighty, very cool. So, how would you describe yourself as a person?
As a person, I don't know, lively and always optimistic, hardworking, hopefully. At least that's what my wife says. You work all the time, she says. I don't know. A little bit strict when it comes to, the teaching aspect of it. I will help you. We'll discuss. I'm open and all that stuff. But if you do something that doesn't sit very well with me, I will let you know. And in terms of research, again, same thing. I would like things to work on my own pace. Therefore, I'm strict with people that, don't fall into that category. I don't know. I tell a lot of jokes. I don't know if that helps.
Well, that leads up to our next question. What's your favorite joke?
My favorite joke? I don't know. I told you before I have a lot of math jokes that I should not quote here. The one with the beers, I guess, is something. Okay. All right. So, all right. There we go. Another one. An engineer, a physicist, and a mathematician go to this hotel, right?
Okay.
And so they go to the hotel, they go to the room, they sleep. So the engineer wakes up, there's a fire in the room. Okay, so he goes into the bathroom, let's say, picks up whatever, rubbish bin he finds over there, fills it up with water, throws it on the fire, extinguishes the fire, happily goes back to bed. Physicist walks up, same thing, there's a fire in the room, goes to the bathroom, takes the rubbish bin, puts in exactly as much water as needed, and throws it in the fire. Fire's okay. Mathematician wakes up, sees the fire, goes to the bathroom, looks at the bin, looks at the water, says, you know what, a solution exists, and goes back to bed.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for your time, Professor.
All right.